This is Pulse episode 90, a nice round number, and it's time for World of Warcraft news. This week we take a look at a ton of 4.2 updates and extras, the rumoured BlizzCon 2011 pet, Murkablo, Ghostcrawler's latest blog, Chinese prisoners being forced to farm gold, and much more. Let's get started. Over the past 2 weeks, the patch 4.2 updates have been coming in fast and furious. There really are way too many to try and cover here, in detail at least. So I'll just try to talk about all the bigger changes and additions, and then at least mention or touch on the smaller ones. First up, the patch 4.2 public test realm guide on the official site has been updated. That was on the 31st of May. And yes, that is just a fancy way of saying that the patch notes have yet again been updated. So, the big changes? Well, in the last few sets of updates to the 4.2 PTR, the keyring bag slot has been removed to make room in the user interface for new features. That is pretty big, I guess. I mean, we've been carrying those keys around for long. Now they're just gone? Oh well. Next up, in no specific order, all character races now have a roar sound. Yes, some of them are pretty cool and others, well, not that cool at all. If a player wins a need roll under the need before greed system on a bind on equip item, the item will become soulbound to that player. The item will remain unbound if won via a greed roll. One of the latest updates brings major nerfs to the tier 11 encounters in preparation for the Firelands. And keep in mind, this is just for the normal versions, as Blizzard wishes to allow for more players to access the content. The defensive pet stance will now only cause players' pets to attack enemies which attack the pet or the master. And another that may interest hunters, 8 new rare tameable beasts have been added, each of which provides a unique taming challenge. Will you be the first hunter to tame Deathtilak, the rarest and most powerful of them all? Good luck with that. Players will need to progress through the Hyjal regrowth and Molten Front daily question areas in order to unlock access to the full gamut of taming challenges. Feral Druid tanks are getting some significant damage scaling tweaks done to their output, as Blizzard thinks their abilities were scaling too fast with the new tiers of gear. And lastly, rogues will be pretty saddened to know that the Cloak of Shadows skill is getting a bit of a cooldown nerf. The Cloak of Shadows cooldown is now 2 minutes, up from 90 seconds. In addition, Cloak of Shadows is no longer on the global cooldown, so that's okay at least. Those are just some of the official changes that were made. On the slightly less official side of things, in our patch 4.2 extras, there were quite a lot of interesting discoveries. There are a whole bunch of mounts to look at over at MMO Champion, and I guess various other sites too, including the Twilight Drake PvP mounts, the Firehawk mounts, the Raven Fire God mount, and more. You can check out a model for and a video of Nosdormu from the Firelands. There are a whole bunch of boss loot tables to look at. You can see a full tier 12 set bonus and stats preview, a preview of the Elemental Bonds quest chain, a couple of videos of boss fights in the Firelands, including Ragnaros himself, the new reward for collecting 150 pets, a pretty cool looking celestial dragon pet, rep and daily quest rewards, and, need I even say, much more. You can find all those extras linked below, courtesy of MMO Champion, Wowhead News, and WoW Insider. In one semi-related piece of news, only so I guess because it was discovered during all this 4.2 craziness, and it's another collector's item, it seems like the pet reward for attending this year's BlizzCon has been revealed. Yes, this is Murkablo, the Diablo-themed Murloc. Quite a fitting name and quite a fitting theme, seeing that we might well be playing the Diablo 3 beta by the time BlizzCon comes around. Check the pet and all the details for it out below. A new arrival has just landed in the Blizzard pet store, the majestic winged guardian flying mount, a titan creation designed to protect Azeroth's most ancient secrets. As with the celestial steed, this guardian of titans will carry you across Azeroth as fast as your riding skill will take you. Head on over to the pet store right now to see this new addition or any other World of Warcraft companions. And don't forget to check the FAQ out below for more information on it. This mount has indeed caused quite a lot of drama, probably because of the pretty hefty $25 price tag it carries. But please, no one is forcing you to buy it. Love it or hate it though, it's here to stay, and you can read or see more of it below. The latest Ask the Devs Q&A answers are in, and as you all probably know, this set was focused on the Firelands. Some of the more interesting questions addressed were about the Abyssal Maw dungeon Blizzard promised us a while back, which we're still not getting. Raid balance and boss mechanics in the Firelands, and even a little bit on the lore behind the Firelands, which will no doubt make quite a few of you out there happy. These answers are, as most of the others were, well worth having a look at. I mean, hey, any form of honest interaction between the fans and the devs is usually a good thing. Check all of that out below if you're interested. And yes, if you were wondering, Ask the Devs number 9 has also been announced, and its topic will be tanking. The official thread is already up, so feel free to pop in and drop those questions. Ghostcrawler is back and has posted another of his developer blogs. This time he wants to talk about talent trees. The blog is titled Cataclysm Talent Tree Postmortem, and all in all it pretty much covers everything. All the reasons why Blizzard changed the talent trees and how they feel about it right now. So if you've had a problem with your class's talent tree since Cataclysm's overall, or if you just want a good brain stimulating read, you know exactly where to look. Oh, and Greg, Ghostcrawler Street, is the lead systems designer for World of Warcraft. He once spent a summer capturing live radioactive alligators. True story. In our art updates of this week we have, well, way too much good stuff. First up, the World of Warcraft trading card game gallery has been updated with a total of 31 new pieces. Yes, I'm not kidding. Sure, they may have been added over the span of 2 weeks, but that's still a pretty large amount of amazing artwork. Take some time, browse through the official galleries and enjoy the splendor. My favorite of the lot, and yes, this was an incredibly hard choice, can be seen on your screens right now. The World of Warcraft Burning Crusade art gallery has been updated with 4 pieces representing the Warcraft universe. 3 of these 4 are in fact from Karazhan. Yes, good old Karazhan, and I have to say they do bring back some really good memories. Any of you that were looking for a trip down memory lane, consider the ticket booked. Next up we have the updates to the World of Warcraft fan art galleries. Also quite a few of them to look at this week. The official fan art galleries have been updated with 9 new pieces set within, well, the Warcraft universe of course. As usual, lots of great pieces here, and you can see my personal favorite on your screens right now. Check them out in full size below. We're nearing the end of the art updates. Here we have the latest piece from the guys and girls over at the Daily Blink. This one is titled Raids Are Hard, Let's Go Shopping. Quite a laugh. And last up in the art updates we have some tasty leftovers from Blizzard's ongoing community comic contest to enjoy. One about a greedy and needy healer, and the other about adventurers discussing their deaths at the spirit healer. As always, worth a look and chuckle worthy. Once again, the call to arms has been heard and the Arena Pass realm echoes with the sound of battle. While gladiators and heroes are facing each other in the arena and fighting for glory, another epic event is about to begin. The 2011 Arena Pass Community Challenge. Some of the most well-known members of the European community will be locked in friendly competition to provide epic coverage of Blizzard's Arena Pass realm. What's more, you'll be able to help judge some of their efforts. Yes, Blizzard seems to have everything covered here, from achievements, to rankings, to prizes, and more. Just last week, we had the opportunity to vote for the best submissions for the weekly Arena Pass Community Challenge, Breaking Good. The competition was intense, and the choice was apparently a hard one, but the favor of the community went to Mana Flask. Their creative use of crowd control earned them the majority of our votes, and an achievement worth 100 points. Congratulations to them. You can see how Mana Flask and the rest of those big names are doing over at the Community Challenge Rankings page. A little friendly competition is never a bad thing. Also, the second Screenshot Challenge vote choices are out. This week it's all about the looks. Which of the character entries from all those big names in the community look the best? Which of them deserve your vote? Have a look on the site and see for yourself. I have to say it is quite an exciting thing that Blizzard are doing here, and it just means that everyone can join in the festivities and the fun. not just the hardcore. So again, you can read all about this community challenge below, see the first week's winner, and see the second week's options too. Enjoy. The Guardian ran a pretty sad story a couple of days ago about prisoners in China forced to farm gold on behalf of their prison bosses. After spending their day doing the hardest possible labor, they would spend the evenings farming gold in games like World of Warcraft. According to the report, it's likely that the prison bosses made more money from the sales of these online currencies than they did even from prisoners' manual labor. If prisoners were unable to produce enough gold during their shift, they would be physically punished. Don't even get me started on how bad that sounds, and I will tell you now, it gets worse. I'm not going to discuss or mention any more from this article, but I will point you towards it if you feel you need to know the rest of the story. Check it out below. And with that done, let's head on over to the World of Warcraft Smalls. In the Smalls this week, on the official site, you can read how the BlizzCon benefit dinner tickets sold out almost immediately. There are 2 polls to check out. The first one, Finders Keepers, and the second, your favorite quest lines. Then the latest new player tips post, the best dressed quests test. You can check an explanation out of the 2011 Arena Pass phases. You can look at some epic drops from Jinx. Taverncraft raids the office with World of Warcraft mugs. Yes, there are 2 new mugs to look at here. You can check out the Cryptozoic manga app, which, if you download it now, will give you a free issue of Warcraft Legends. And lastly, from the official sites, you can read about how fast the official French World of Warcraft Facebook page is growing. Then, over at BlizzPlanet, you can read about Thrall, Twilight of the Aspects. What do World of Warcraft, Optimus Prime, and Zelda have in common? A pretty interesting post over at Kotaku. Apparently men prefer World of Warcraft to their wives. Yes, that's one that you absolutely have to look at. Wowhead is now hiring a web designer. Then you can check out the 3 latest movie watch posts from over at WoW Insider, Celendis, Dalla Surfal, and the Tuskar and the Engineer. Now let's have a look at the World of Warcraft Blues. The Blues had a bit to say this week on upcoming raid nerfs, on anti-ninja loot systems, on the Firelands difficulty, and then on the Encounter Journal's effect on boss difficulty, and on the Encounter Journal ruining discovery and inventiveness. Sadly, that's all I have for you in the World of Warcraft news. Thanks once again to everyone that checked it out. Like it, favorite it, share it, and subscribe. It's all much appreciated. Keep checking back here soon for more news, and remember to check the links below for, well, the links below. But most importantly, happy Warcrafting.